All right, back to the top story of our show, and here's our Raptors reporter, Josh Lewenberg, with more on it. And Josh, Masai Ujiri has been known to go off the board with some of his moves. This seems to be another one of those. How big of a surprise is it that Darko Rajakovic is the next head coach of the Raptors, and just who exactly are they getting here?
Well, I think whoever the Raptors would have hired would have been a bit of a surprise just because there was never a consensus favorite. Even yesterday, I spoke to 4 league sources and asked them who they thought the front runner was, and I got 4 different names. So, yeah, the Raptors kept things quiet as they're known to do, but I did get the sense throughout the process that they weren't considering a veteran head coach like a Budenholzer or a Doc Rivers. They always wanted to find the next great head coach. And that's definitely a risk. The thing with these first-time head coaches is you never really know for sure. You can do your homework and check the references, do the interviews, but until you put them in that big chair and see how they deal with the pressure, you never really know. But with all of that said, Rajakovic is a guy who has paid his dues. He's been in coaching for 3 decades. He's coached around the world and at multiple different levels. And in speaking to people around the league that have worked with him, especially in Memphis over the last few years, one of the first things that they mention is his track record in player development. And of course, that's something that's really slipped in Toronto over the last few years. So I'm told that's something that they really prioritized during this search, and the biggest reason why Rajakovic comes out of it as the head coach.
So the Raptors will select 13th overall in the upcoming NBA draft. Fred VanVleet, Jakob Poeltl, and Gary Trent Jr., all free agents. So, Josh, what does this hire tell you about the Raptors' direction this offseason?
I'm not sure it tells us anything. I'll give you an example. Let's say they would have gone with one of those vets that I mentioned, Doc Rivers or Budenholzer, Monty Williams before he went to Detroit. I think we could have looked at that and said, okay, well, this is a team that's clearly going for it. On the other end, if they had gone with somebody that's younger and has less experience, maybe that would have made more sense for a rebuild. But I think one of the things they really liked about Rajakovic is he gives them some flexibility. And this is a front office, for better or for worse, we know that they love flexibility. So whatever they are feeling going into what will be a very busy few weeks, it's the NBA and things change in a hurry. Maybe free agency doesn't go as they plan, or maybe the trade market doesn't unfold as they had hoped, and then all of a sudden they've got to pivot. So I think whatever the direction ends up being, they feel confident that Rajakovic is their guy.
Well, Rajakovic's hiring means that every vacant NBA head coaching position has now been filled. Thanks for this, Josh.